Hi everyone, Jewish movies continuing to build in Jerusalem and the hidden melodies of Shlomo Carlebach. You're watching Israeli Salad. Let's begin. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. Baruch Hashem, thank God there is a lot going on here at Arutz Sheva TV. The daily newscast has added a new member to the staff, news anchor Elliot Koh. Tuesday Night Live in Jerusalem has premiered with Ari and Jeremy, a new weekly shiur, a Torah lesson with Rabbi Chaim Richman from the Temple Institute, and we are back in full swing with Israeli Salad, our variety magazine bringing the flavors of the land, of its people, and of the Torah of Israel to you no matter where you are. Although, of course, you're far better off getting on a plane and coming over here ASAP. Before we begin, another two things about our programs. If you have any video content that you'd like to share with us, please contact us at tv@inn.co.il and be part of the revolution of Jewish TV. Last but not least, as we've mentioned on our newscast, you can now embed our programs on your website. We can provide you with an HTML code to embed our player on your forum, blog, or site. For more details, contact us at, let's get that email back on the screen, tv@inn.co.il. Okay, let's begin our show. First, we're off to the south, where a special festival took place, presenting films that relate to a variety of Jewish topics.
Porta un abbraccio ai miei figli. Vai.
The fourth annual Jewish Eye Film Festival took place in the southern city of Ashkelon. More than 80 films were presented, all with a connection to Judaism or Jews.
A festival dedicated only to Jewish subject film. Not Jewish authors, mostly they are, but other also. For example, one of the main film here is by a Romanian director, which is not a Jewish. And the selection is from all the countries. We have from 24 countries film here.
There is, of course, one topic that the Jewish-related film industry cannot overlook: the Shoah, the Holocaust.
It's a collection that grows and grows and grows, and it shows that the European countries, Poland, France, Italy, whoever you want, deals with the Shoah till today as a main subject. When you go to the States, it's different subject. They have more problems of mixed marriage and anti-Semitism, but not in the Shoah way.
Last year, the festival took place in Be'er-Sheva, the capital of the Negev. This year, the organizers decided to bring the event to Ashkelon, despite or because of the increasing Qassam threat to the southern city.
We decided that the festival will have to go to places that maybe need it more. It's because the danger of Ashkelon, because Ashkelon is the capital of Otef Aza.
The movie Chalutzim, for example, that's Hebrew for pioneers, is one that is connected to the manager of the festival. The movie tells a story of the first pioneers that came to the land of Israel from North Italy, and by doing so, set the foundations for the next waves of immigration, Aliyah, from Italy, saving many from the Nazis.
My father was one of them. His grandfather was a rabbi, and also other Chalutzim were people from the academic world, from doctors, from professors. The film and the book are mostly concerned about the reason why they did this change of life, from good and healthy and wealthy life to a very poor, suffering and tough life. And it is mostly, or let's say, all because of idealism. They were the first Zionists in Italy, and they want to to give these ideals to make them real. In the meantime, also the fascism rise and so on.
The organizers of the event believe that films with a Jewish character strengthen Jewish awareness and identity around the world. These movies can help teach, especially the younger generations, important chapters in the history of the Jewish nation.
And now a story of loss and rebuilding. There is a customary phrase used in Israel when comforting a family sitting Shiva in mourning, Bevinyan haaretz tenuchamu. May you be comforted in the building of the land. This phrase, as you will now see, is so keenly appropriate and important for the family of Ido Zoldan of blessed memory, who was brutally murdered by terrorists more than a month ago.
Sunday morning, Bush is out of town. It's time to continue building the land of Israel. Owners of the Kdumim 3000 construction company and the staff of the Maleh HaZeitim project gather for the cornerstone ceremony for the expansion of the neighborhood.
God willing, we are starting to build 3 buildings here of 5 stories each. 36 apartments in all. Phase 2 of the project that were built here a few years ago and is complete.
This event in East Jerusalem is not just any other construction event. The location, the method of work, and most of all, the people that are building here is what makes this an event that combines sadness and happiness, destruction and rebuilding. Ido Zoldan of blessed memory, who was murdered by Arab terrorists 40 days earlier, was supposed to manage this project together with his brother Itamar. Ido was murdered, but his dream is being brought into action by his father and brothers.
With us, it is a lifelong project which goes hand in hand with ideology, as everyone knows, and no one ever thought of stopping, certainly not. Yes, we go on, in a big way, with the hardship and with the terrible burning pain.
The emptiness is very great, but by the grace of God it only gives us more strength. It does not weaken us. And the spirit of Idodi in this project will be multiplied several times over. When I remember Idodi, my heart aches that he was taken away from us at such a young age. He was a precious Jew, a tzaddik who was faithful with all of his heart.
I hope that we will never disappoint him because he believed in construction in Eretz Israel, especially in Jerusalem.
We know that the holier something is and the more important it is, the more obstacles it faces. The obstacles that we had here were huge. But Baruch Hashem, we have been privileged to reach this day. But one obstacle that we had will stay with us forever. You all know, I don't have to tell you, that Idodi was supposed to be in charge of this project with his big soul, and we will work from down here to build Jerusalem, and Idodi, who wanted so much to build Jerusalem, will help us from heaven to build Jerusalem. And together the building in heaven and the building on earth will create an eternal structure. Amen, and God willing.
זה קשה לנו, אבל בכל זאת החלטנו דווקא לזכרו לבוא ולעשות ככה את תחילת הבנייה. It's hard for us, but we decided in his memory to mark the start of the construction in a very festive way. Like, you see, we brought all of the relatives and friends, and we think that this is actually the right thing to do in his memory, to mark it with festivity and joy. He will be missed greatly by the workers and by us. I'm talking about the work aspect. Obviously, we will miss him every second. But here, his creative mind, his power in everything and in the construction process will be sorely missed.
The present residents of Ma'ale HaZeitim will be meeting new friends already during the construction. Ever since Ido convinced his father to work with only Jewish labor, all the employees of Kdumim 3000 are Jews.
I was deterred in the beginning. I did not believe it was possible. But with his great stubbornness and his charm, he managed to convince me to let him try. And he tried, and he succeeded. We employ only Jewish workers today. This project was a big one, and we will continue down the same road. We will build this project in Jerusalem, and it will be known that Jews built up the land of Israel. Like he used to say, build up Eretz Yisrael with your hands, not with your mouth.
He said our people became too spoiled. One has to be able to work also in hard work, in physical work. And he was an example by himself.
Regarding Jewish labor, we had a surprise. From a wide perspective, in the bottom line, it doesn't even cost more. Because the work is excellent, the finishing is excellent, there are no repairs to be carried out, there are no great expenditures for us before the warranty runs out. The problem is to find Jewish workers. It's not simple. It is a long process. People need to understand, this is a respectable craft with a great sense of accomplishment which develops you a lot. So people will reconnect through construction work. Idodi used to say that a nation that does not build its country can be called a sick nation. And we want to heal this nation, as do the workers. And we will carry this off with God's help.
The builders are Jews, and even the cornerstone laying event receives a spiritual status as it deserves.
שיהיה מקובל ומרוצה מעשה בניית היסודות לפניך כאילו קיימנו המצווה בכל פרטיה ודקדוקיה וכוונותיה ותרי"ג מצוות התלויות בה ולתקן שורשה במקום העליון לעשות נחת רוח ליוצרנו לעשות רצון בורנו ולעוקמה שכינתה מאפרה ובזכות המצווה הזאת התגרשו כל הקליפות והסטרא אחרא והמזיקים מן המקום הזה.
As we mentioned, the location of Ma'ale HaZeitim is unique as well, a Jewish neighborhood in the heart of East Jerusalem, the Mount of Olives on one side and the Temple Mount on the other.
This land was purchased in 1880 by two kollels, which were returned to their Jewish owners in 1967. Dr. Erwin Moskowitz pushed through the whole process, and he bought it from the kollels. There is no building plan here, and except for a guard at the gate, people pass through freely on their way to the kotel. This has been approved, there are building approvals, everything is set, so we will start building, thank God.
And what's next? The Jewish presence is planned to expand here. The nearby police headquarters will be moving to Ma'ale Adumim. And what will be instead of that building? More Jewish apartments, of course.
Initially, the land belonged to the Bukharians and was nationalized by the British. That is when they built the police station. We want to continue, not just in Jerusalem, but also in Judea and Samaria as well, and in all of the land of Israel. We hope to get rid of the wicked ones and live in peace.
We are really lucky people to have a small part in building of Jerusalem.
And now let's end today's program with music. We've spoken about Reb Shlomo Carlebach many times throughout our programs. But did you know that there are many Carlebach melodies and songs, more than 10 years after his passing, that have still never been revealed to the public? Sit back and enjoy the beginning of this exploration and discovery of Carlebach's hidden melodies as presented in the new album, Kishoshana.
Zu Yisrael, Kuma, Kuma, Be'ezras Yisrael, Zur Yisrael, Kuma, Kuma be'ezras Yisrael. Reb Shlomo's songs, as we know them today, are out on a lot of, recordings, discs and the likes. But there were many, many songs that Shlomo, our Rebbe, didn't record, or he did, but like in a home, in a situation, in somebody's house, a kumzitz, a little concert somewhere. Maybe the Rebbe sang it for a year or two, or maybe even less than that. Zu Yisrael, Kuma, Kuma be'ezras Yisrael,
Now, as Reb Shlomo Carlebach's songs are internationally renowned, it's time to present to the public songs that were never professionally recorded. 12 years ago, 1 year after Reb Carlebach passed away, Shlomo Katz was the one who decided to start collecting Reb Shlomo's hidden tunes.
I've been collecting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tapes. And on these tapes, in the middle of shiurim, in the middle of concerts, like he would say, it was basically just the nigunim would come to him, and he'd sing them once or twice, and, go on, and probably never to remember them again, or it was just a passing moment.
כשושנה בין החוכים, כשושנה בין החוכים, כן היוצא בין הבונים. כשושנה בין החוכים, כשושנה.
The new album, Kishoshana, presents 10 of these hidden songs. They're sung by Chaim David, Shlomo Katz, and Aaron Razel, who was in charge of the musical aspect of the project. They actually represent the three parts of the Jewish nation. Shlomo is a Kohen, descendant of the priest from the time of the temple. Aaron is a Levi. His ancestors sung psalms in the temple. And Chaim David is a Yisrael.
We had a great time doing the album, singing. It was really like a great time. I had a great time. One-time experience in my life.
Shlomo's a Kohen. He's like a Kohen Gadol to me. He's always blessing and strengthening people, which is the highest midah. Aaron is full of fun and joy and very, very clever and talented with his umanut. And they're all great musicians.
אבינו לציון עירך, לציון עירך, אוי מרינה. אבינו לציון עירך, לציון עירך, אוי מרינה.
It was complicated because I have a tendency to make things more complicated because I grew up on jazz and but I was talking to Shlomo and Chaim David and we thought nobody ever heard these nigunim. If I jazz them up, it's not fair for them. But also I can't not be myself. So it was a big walking on a tightrope, trying to, leave the nigunim as they are, fresh, as people don't know them, and still making them interesting.
Of the three, Chaim David is the only one who knew and sang with Reb Shlomo Carlebach.
And not only did I sing with Reb Shlomo brought me to Israel from Europe, many years back, 75. And when he brought me here, and how far away I was from Yiddishkeit when he met me, like really far.
Reb Shlomo's songs and melodies are famous on one hand for their simplicity, while at the same time for conveying deep and spiritual messages. The audience is highly diverse.
Everybody's got a neshama in them, they're a different stage of development. And that's really one of my goals, is that there should be nothing that's too much for anybody or too little for anybody, but it should really connect to all of Klal Yisrael.
In fact, out of all the singers in the Jewish market, Reb Shlomo actually has more albums out than anyone else. More nigunim than anyone else. There's just so much that he was able to put out in his lifetime.
Shlomo's Carlebach heritage is just coming out.
growing and growing and growing, and it's a very special feeling to be part of it, you know, like so many unbelievable nigunim, and you know nigunim for Rab Shlomo Chassid, it's not just a piece of notes, it's Torahs, it's moods, it's understanding Avodat Hashem, you know, it's like how to connect to Hashem, you know, Time Dananai is how to connect to Hashem with I Did I, Am Yisrael Chai, so each nigun is another path to get close to Hashem. And
for Shlomo Katz, this isn't the first time he's putting out a hidden Karlibach song. Shlomo sings the Neshama Nigun that some of you might refer to as the Yam Didideho. That tune was found by Reb Shlomo's daughter, Neshama, after his passing.
The most simple nigun in the world, the two-chord nigun that has changed the face of people's davening more than anything. It changed weddings. It's transformed weddings and nights of debate, like totally beyond me. So when I say it's a responsibility, it's the holiest responsibility in the world.
So what's next? Well, in terms of bringing hidden Karlibach Nigunim out to the public, the work has just begun.
Many people are following Reb Shlomo's way and they're doing the most beautiful things in the world. But for us to have the schus to bring out to the world songs that he himself wasn't zocheh so much in his life, for that I have the ultimate hakarat tov and thankfulness to Ribono Shel Olam. It's beyond me. Tonight is a responsibility. I feel it's a responsibility to keep the kavod, keep the authenticity. There's at least another 700 to 800 hours that we know of that hasn't been even listened to. So just last week I found about 3 or 4 nigunim. So this is an ongoing project. This is a project for life.
Okay, that was Israeli Salad. We'll be back next time with more flavors and other good things from Israel. So until then, shalom from all of us here at Arutz Sheva TV, Israel National News.